So there is a scene in Wicked that I believe is pure comedic genius. You have Elphaba and Galinda, sort of the wicked witch and the good witch, and they are newly assigned roommates. And they realize something. They cannot stand each other. It begins light and playful. What is this feeling? So sudden and new. I felt the moment I laid eyes on you. My pulse is rushing. My head is reeling. And then it bursts into harmony, right? The two women singing in perfect pitch about their mutual hatred. Loathing, unadulterated loathing for your face, your voice, your clothing. Right? It's a great song. I thought you guys would sing along. It's okay. I prayed a lot about doing that for you. Thank you for allowing me a moment to sing. The crowd, oh, no. Okay, the crowd laughs because it is so over the top. But that's what makes it dangerous, because it's true. Under the glitter and humor, envy is quietly deforming them both. It's not just dislike, it's comparison turned corrosive. Their identity starts to bend around what they despise. They're no longer defined by who they are, but by who they are against. Does that hit anybody this morning? And that's the real tragedy of envy. It doesn't just wound the other person, it warps us. It corrupts the image of God within us. It takes the beauty of our uniqueness and turns it into bitterness. And that is the same energy pulsing through Genesis chapter 4. You see, Cain isn't wicked, he's human. He's disappointed, he's jealous, and he might even be heartbroken. He wanted to please God, and yet he finds himself unseen. But when resentment goes unchecked, when loathing becomes the soundtrack of our souls, we start to look less like love and more like the world. John Mark Comer, one of my recent found authors, in his book, Practicing the Way, which I highly recommend, says these words: every moment of every day you are being formed. It's not a choice. Every moment of every day you are being formed, either into the image of love or into the image of the world. And that is what this story and this song reveal. What we do with our loathing, our comparison, our envy will either deform us or transform us. Cain's story, Galinda's story, Elphaba's story, all start in the same place, in a moment of choice where their hearts begin to bend. Let's catch up. Genesis chapter 4. We'll read 1 through 8 to start. We'll stop in 8. Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel, for his part, brought of the firstlings of his flock, their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. The Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, Sin is lurking at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it. Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let us go out to the field." And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. This is the word of God for the people of God. Maybe Cain had been doing this for years. Remember, he's the eldest son. Maybe he had been tending the soil, bringing his offerings, feeling God's pleasure in the work of his hands. Maybe he had been used as the being, the one who knew how to do it, the firstborn, the favorite, the one who'd figured out how to talk to God in a world east of Eden. And then came Abel, the fresh, new, younger brother. And suddenly, Cain wasn't the only one who could give or please or be seen. Maybe the crack in his soul started there, not in rebellion, but in the quiet ache of no longer being the center of the story. But before Cain acts, God speaks. Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire for you, you must rule over. I want to point this out very, very quickly. God doesn't say, if you do right, will you not be accepted? And if you do wrong, will you not be turned away? He doesn't say that, does he? He says, if you do not right, will you be accepted? And if you do wrong, sin is lurking at the door and you must rule over it. This moment is pure grace. God doesn't condemn, God counsels Cain through this. Before there is blood on the ground, God is already there pleading, you don't have to do this, Cain. Sin isn't some monster lurking in the shadows. It's the internal pull that whispers inside of us, you've been wronged, you deserve more. It's the seductive voice of self-justification. God warns Cain what is about to happen around him and what is happening in him. Because before every outward act of violence, there is an inward moment of formation that takes place. That's how spiritual deformation works. It starts small. The flicker of comparison, the quiet insecurity we give too much time to. When we feed it, it starts to shape who we are and who we are becoming. You see, Elphaba and Galinda, their loathing duet may sound like a joke, but it's the sound of two souls being pulled apart by the gravity of ego. My goodness, is that not happening in our families and in our neighborhoods and in our workplaces and in our schools and in the highest offices of power? It's Cain's story too. Before he ever steps into the field, the real battle is already happening in his heart. And God, like the patient parent that God is, leans in and says, Cain, you still have a choice. It doesn't have to be this way. But Cain leaves the conversation with God and heads to the field. The text doesn't tell us what he says to Abel, only what he does. And while they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. It's quiet. There's no thunder, no warning shot, just a choice born out of hurt and hardened into hate, a wound that has turned into a weapon. That's what comparison does. It doesn't just distort how we see others, it corrodes who we are. It shrinks our souls until the only space left is resentment. Right after the song Loathing, Wicked gives us another image of a kind of sin that takes root in these moments of choice. It's not about anger, but about apathy. Fierro sings a song about the unexamined life. I won't sing this one. Dancing through life, skimming the surface, where's the trouble? Life's more painless for the brainless. He calls it freedom. He calls it fun. He calls it dancing through life if we just stop pressuring ourselves to look inward. But really, it's avoidance. The refusal to face the ache inside. He laughs it off with charm and rhythm, but his soul is hollowing out at the same time. He's trying to outrun fear and bitterness with ease, to mask the emptiness with motion. But that's what happens when pain goes unexamined. It doesn't disappear, but it begins to dull us. We stop caring. We stop feeling. We stop growing. We become like Fierro, alive on the outside, but losing heart on the inside. And in this story, that hollow way of living eventually catches up with him, which we'll see in the movie released in 2 weeks. He becomes the scarecrow, the perfect symbol of a man who never tended his inner life. Because apathy is spiritual deformation, the slow unmaking of the soul, and we can never heal what we refuse to feel. That's Cain's path too. It's his next choice in the story. His pain becomes too heavy to hold. He numbs it with violence. His jealousy curdles into apathy, and he tells himself it just doesn't matter anymore. But apathy is not freedom. In fact, it contains us into our own emptiness. Every time we choose indifference over honesty, distraction over depth, comparison over compassion, we dance a little farther from the garden, away from God who is still whispering, "You still have a choice." Let's listen again as that whisper turns into a question, the question that still echoes through every human heart, beginning in verse 9. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" And Cain responds, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And the Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it will no longer yield to you its strength. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Today you have driven me from the soil, and I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who meets me may kill me." Then the Lord said to him, "Not so. Whoever kills Cain will suffer a sevenfold of vengeance." And the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who came upon him would kill him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. This again is the word of God for the people of God. The field is quiet. Abel's blood soaks the soil, and God's voice breaks the silence. Where is your brother Abel? It isn't an accusation, it's an invitation. A chance for truth, for repentance, for relationship. But Cain turns away. I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? He can't face what he's done, so he hides behind apathy and self-protection. Even then, though, God doesn't retaliate. God responds with mercy. You will wander, God says, but I will mark you so that no one can harm you. This mark isn't punishment, it's protection. It's God saying the cycle of violence stops here. It will not win. Even in the consequence, grace holds. You see, Cain's story isn't just about what happened long ago. It's about what keeps happening. Every generation stands where Cain stood, in the fragile space between hurt and healing, between pride and peace, between self and surrender. And God still whispers the same question to us. Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? Sin is crouching at your door, but you have a choice. You can choose who you'll become. You can choose how you will love. You can choose whether you'll live as the world does, reacting, protecting, comparing, or live as Christ does, surrendering, forgiving, and healing. We are living in a world that is drowning in the spirit of Cain. A world where violence feels justified, where apathy feels easy, where we are constantly told to define ourselves against our neighbors by our politics, our pain, our pride, and our tribe. And yet, the whisper of God still breaks through the noise. You have a choice. When you sit around the Thanksgiving table this year, you have a choice to defend your opinions or to listen with love. When you scroll the news, you have a choice to join the outrage or to seek to be a voice of mercy. When you feel unseen and underappreciated, you have a choice to grasp for control or to rest in your belovedness. The invitation of Jesus has always been the same. Lay it down. Lay down the sword of pride. Lay down the armor of cynicism. Lay down the burden of needing to be right. Choose love again. Choose mercy again. Choose the way again. So today, I'm inviting you not to fix it, not to fake it, but to choose different. This morning, the altar is open to you to come, to choose a posture of prayer, whether that is kneeling, sitting, standing, jumping, dancing. But this altar is open to you to come and say, God, I'm tired of the loathing. I'm tired of living on default. I want to choose the way of Jesus again. Because this is what it means to follow Christ, to wake up every day and say, I will not be defined by my anger. I will not be ruled by my fear. I will not be shaped by my wounds. I will be formed by love. This is the way back to life. This is the power of choice. And the good news is this. Even if you choose wrong, God is still going to choose you. So come, make your choice. The door of grace is open to you. Love is waiting for you. And the world is desperate for people who will choose different. Might we be that person? Might we be that congregation? Might we be that church? Might we be that hope in the world? In our families, in our communities. May it be so. Let us pray. God, we thank you so much for the opportunity that you would never give up on us. God, open our hearts to you. Show us the places where we have sealed off the pain, where we've refused to feel, God, because it's hard. But open us up and know that we are being formed, whether we face it or not. But God, when we face it with the bravery of your Son, Jesus, God, your redemption, your resurrection, your forgiveness, your mercy is powerful than anything that can ever hurt us. God, your power of love is bigger than any sin in this world, whether it is ours or the structures at will. God, you are more powerful than anything that can rise up in this world against you. God, might we join that force by the way we love ourselves, by the way that we love our neighbors, by the way that you are pushing us to go further beyond what makes us comfortable and apathetic in the world. God, that we could be used by you as disciples of your Son, Jesus. Because this world, we see it, God. We see it longing to know, is there a way to survive? Is there a way to be beloved community, a way to belong to one another past our differences? And God, you have given us that truth in the way that you have loved us. We have not earned it. You have called us to rest in it. So God, as those disciples, might we come this morning and recommit to allowing your love to change us, to transform us, to free us. God, to go and be more like your Son, Jesus, than we showed up today. God, be with us as we open up this time in your name.